All right, boys. We're not going to do any introductions. We're not going to do any small talk tonight. First thing I want to know out of your guys' mouth right now, what's your most unhinged Masters prediction? And you have to defend it.
Okay, Rory McIlroy outside of the top 25. I don't know. Is that even unhinged? We're going to say it is.
Could be.
The guy hasn't played in a couple of weeks. He was doing okay before that, but he hasn't won an event this year yet. He was struggling after he won the Masters last year. And I feel like we're still riding the wave. We're riding the high from the last season. And there's going to be a lot of pressure to perform again. And I think he doesn't make top 25 this year.
Okay. I think what you meant to say was that he's going to get into a little bit of wine this week at the Champions dinner. And, he might be feeling a little hungover on Thursday morning, right?
That adds to the unhingedness, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. The sacrilege of him not making it at an all-Irish dinner is going to come back to haunt him, and he's going to play terrible golf this weekend. How's that?
Did you guys see the interview with him today when they asked him about that?
Yeah.
I did not.
Scott, what did he say?
They asked him why he didn't have like an all-Irish meal, and he was like, because I want to enjoy the food too.
Yeah, makes sense.
He's such a people pleaser, All right, Trent, what do you got? Unhinged.
Pretty hot take, but I'm going to say Scotty Scheffler misses his first cut since 2022.
Whoa.
Wow.
Because he's out of practice? Because he's having some sleepless nights?
No, I just, the form hasn't been there yet this year as far as Scotty form.
That's true.
And obviously, I think he'll figure it out, but I think it's going to take a steep fall before the resurrection, if you will, of his game.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's fair. I mean,
extremely hot take, but
didn't he win like the first event and then just kind of like hasn't been able to play golf on a Thursday ever since then?
Too busy being a dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he just had what was it, a second kid, right?
I think was just born? 2, yeah.
Yeah. Another boy. Scott, it's like you and Scotty are on the same.
We're on the same cycle. Yeah, that'll be me in like a month and a half. Yep.
Makes sense. You guys have the same name.
Trent, did you know that? I got another baby boy coming.
Congratulations, Scott.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Thank you.
You Scotties know how to pump out the boys.
Listen, man, I'm either trying to build a basketball team or a football team or something, right? Like I got to have some money when I get older.
No golf team?
Well, I suppose if they're a lot better than I am, maybe.
Well, yeah, you got to start them young and get them lessons,
That's fair. That's fair.
That's just how it goes. All right. Mine is, you guys have probably heard that we're in the year 2026. There's been a lot of this talk about how we're 10 years from 2016 and all the good things that happened that year. And you know what I mean? It was just like a nostalgic time 10 years ago. I looked it up. Do you guys remember who won the Masters in 2016 without looking?
2016.
I can guess. I don't know. I didn't watch golf then. Let me say Spieth.
Close.
Adam Scott.
Nope. Danny Willett.
The man.
Would have never guessed that.
Which, Scott, do you even know who Danny Willett is?
I feel like, I've heard the name before, D, but that's about as far as it goes.
So that was a weird year where an unknown, like a person not expected to win the Masters, won the Masters that year. And it was kind of like a shock to everybody. Like, who's Danny Willett? Where did he come from? He just randomly defied the odds. My unhinged prediction is that this year, someone random like that wins the Masters that we are not expecting, and it's not being talked about.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm feeling the nostalgic vibes of 2016.
Do you have a name, or you just think somebody?
Well, you got to stay tuned if you want to hear the names.
You guys heard that. Stick around.
Yeah. And, for those of you that are sticking around, welcome to the Single Barrel Sports Podcast, where we're going to talk the Masters 2026, baby. We got Scott, one of our subject matter experts in golf, Trent, and Andrew is missing tonight. So we will say a prayer for him.
All over hockey.
He's got an excused absence. Well, you know what? Bruins versus Canes, though, that's a nice game. That's a good hockey game, at least.
Yes. Yeah. Can't blame him.
Hell yeah. So last year we had, I thought, and I know Scott and I have talked about this a few times recently, Trent, we had probably one of the most fun and educational experiences in terms of podcasting that we've had in this entirety of running this podcast over the last almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
So our episode last year was highly focused on, what is the history, all kind of the details, learning about it. I know Andrew was going to the Masters last year, and shout out to him. He got me some merch. I know he got you guys maybe some stuff too. I'm wearing my Masters polo, my peaches and cream. But last year, we did a lot. It was more of like a fundamental episode where we kind of talked about what is the Masters, why is it, important, what's the history, all that kind of stuff. So this year, I'd like to get really into some discussion with you guys and talk about some just really, I think, interesting discussion questions. We'll talk about the field, talk about, who we think is maybe some sleepers, who's dangerous out there. And then we're going to also talk about who we have for some picks at the end, if people are interested in that.
Hell yeah. And I just want to shout out that episode. If you guys are interested in learning about, the history, traditions, and the reason why the Masters is exciting, that episode is very educational. I learned everything I know about golf from that episode and have been watching it every weekend since then. So it's on our podcast on YouTube and Spotify, and just look up the one that says the Masters and you'll catch that full session there.
Maybe we can put the link in the description for people to make it easy.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Okay, so the first question I want to start out with for you guys is we're gonna start more philosophical here and interesting. I want to get your guys' take on this first piece here. If you had to explain to somebody who, someone who's listening or who maybe isn't as into golf, or even those who are fans of golf, why should they care about what happens this week in golf and the Masters from your perspective? I'm curious to hear both of your guys' takes on this.
You can lead, Scott.
Okay. Well, I mean, last year was the first year that I watched it, and I think that the excitement for me was knowing that there is so much history in this event, and that it's at the same location every year, and it is, it's ceremonial, right? Like there's a jacket at the end. If you win, you get to host a dinner where you design the menu for the next year, and it really does feel like, in my opinion, kind of like golf's Super Bowl, and it also kicks off the major season, where golf gets a whole lot more exciting and competitive, where all the best players are playing a lot more, every week. And so it felt like watching the Masters last year that when you're watching the feature groups, the players that are near the top, that every single stroke genuinely mattered. And it mattered to the golfers too. Like emotionally, they were very invested in each stroke in a way that I haven't really seen in other golf events. I mean, every major is that way, but it just felt like it was like a every down counts kind of mentality for football. And you just couldn't not watch it. I mean, there's just so many stories involved in golf that kind of highlight around Masters time. Yeah, for me, even if you're not into golf, I think there's a narrative, if you're a sports fan, that can really help you to enjoy the Masters. Whether you want someone new to win it for the first time or someone to get a repeat, like 2 times in a row for Rory might be really cool. Probably it doesn't happen very often, I would guess. But yeah, I don't think there's a higher stage for sports narratives to kind of exist in the PGA Tour.
Nice. Love that. And I know that you're newer to watching. This will be your second time. So be curious to hear what your thoughts are going into or after you watch it for the second time, if anything changes for you.
Yeah, I was spoiled last year, man. We had the playoff finish. I mean, what a hell of an event. So hopefully we have another really competitive one. It would be really great if someone wasn't running away with it on Sunday and it came down to the wire again.
Yeah, for sure. It's always fun that way. What about you, Trent?
There is just something about, it's Augusta's ability to hold it almost just like, if you watch golf on a weekly basis, you kind of just, it's like whatever, right? But you get a video reel of Augusta National and it just puts your body at ease. Like you could take a nap for hours watching this golf, right? Like I just don't think any other tournament harnesses like that's what golf's supposed to be like every week, I feel, right? Like I feel like the bar, it should be that high every week, but it's just like we're only spoiled one week every year of watching Augusta.
Yeah.
No, I think, I think it's just like golf in the purest form. And I feel like when everyone's out there playing, I feel like they have the same feeling we do at home watching the event. It's like, man, this truly is golf, like in the purest, right? Like the course is just incredible, dude. It's so green. Like I feel like everyone is actually, they're not animals like at the course and stuff. And it's like, I don't know. I don't understand how they like kept the standard so high, but it's just like, I feel like everyone that's playing in the field definitely has that same feeling. Like, man, I really want to play like the best, like on the high. This is it. Like this, this means more probably to most people than like winning the FedEx Cup. It's like,
Yeah.
you just get so spoiled for 4 days to watch people play at just the purest of course.
I think another thing that really set it apart for me last year was the app, the Masters app and the ability to watch all of the different video feeds all of the time from your phone. There's just so much, there's so many cuts and takes that you can watch, and you can always watch there's like feature groups that you can watch all the time, or you can watch specific players or specific holes. And that blew my mind, but I was like, oh, this is cool, man. Like I can watch these really hard
literally
holes.
click on a player, you can go right to it. It's like, how can we not get that every week?
Right? That would be awesome.
Yeah, the broadcast, the presentation. I mean, the fact that, I started learning a little bit more too about that they don't take a ton of corporate sponsorship at this event. And that's why there's not a ton of commercials and you don't see a lot of advertisement in total at this event because of just the way that, like Trent mentioned, they've held the standard. They want to keep that standard. And I don't know, the weird part is it makes you, I think the one thing that I know you guys are both trying to describe it, and let me know if this hits it or not, but it kind of like makes you feel like you're like a kid again. Like it's like there's no cell phones, everything just, it almost like it's a snapshot in time and it hasn't changed. And that that's what it is. Like what you're going to get is what you're going to get. And it's not super fancy. It's very fundamentally basic, but it's just done so well when you watch it visually. When you go on the app, I know there's more technology involved than back in the day, but everything is just so clean and like, everything looks beautiful when you're watching it. But it just, for me, it makes you, I don't know, it makes me feel like a kid, like when you go outside and you used to play in like the neighborhood and stuff. It just, it has that weird nostalgic feeling when you're watching the actual event. At least that's what I get.
Yeah, it makes me feel like Augusta is like super elitist and they're just like, we're not outsourcing anything. We're going to do everything right, but we're paying for it all. Like, we don't want your sponsors. We're going to do it our way. It's going to be better.
Yeah.
And it's like, it is better. Let me tell you, it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I found it fascinating last year that it's not like the largest purse out of all the majors. There's other majors that I think most of the other majors have a larger purse, but this is the one that matters. And I think it is due to that history and tradition and the challenge. There's a lot of history of people struggling on this course, and you get to play it every year versus rotating through like some of the other majors do.
Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting. I was watching that Rory interview earlier, and they asked him a question along the lines of, out of all the majors that you've won, which one do you think, which one would you say, what would you put like the highest in terms of experience? And he said Augusta. He was like, there's no doubt it's just different. It's just special. Like there's something about it that it just feels different. Like obviously it's great to win other majors, but something is just different about it. That it's like hard to explain.
It's the one that evaded him the longest, that's for sure.
Wasn't it like 17 years or something that he played
the
before he won?
ultimate chase for him, dude. It was never, again, almost to the point where we didn't know if it was going to happen.
Yeah. I remember Deep calling it out last year. He's like, I bet if he wins, they're not young anymore, right? Yeah. Well, I just was saying, I remember Deep saying that Rory was going to fall to his knees if he won, and then it happened, and I was like, that was a cool moment. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Definitely
I mean,
enjoyed it.
We watched history, whether we like it or not. Like that was literally history. Sorry, go ahead, Trent.
No, you're good. No, I was just on that same page. Just not the largest Rory fan, but you certainly cannot discredit him for any of his success. Like he's been a great face for golf, and you certainly can't take anything away from him there.
So, what did you think about him? Sorry, Dave, I'm going to cut real quick, but what did you guys think about him kind of like mugging off DeChambeau and that whole Sunday last year when he like wouldn't look at him, wouldn't talk to him, wouldn't reply to him if he talked to him? I know Rory said, this is just all business. I'm just out here trying to win. But what are your guys' thoughts on that? Like, is that a sportsmanship issue, or is it just genuinely like it's just all business and I don't want any distractions?
I'm going to ask you a question now. Okay. Would you want to talk to him if you just fucking shanked a 3-foot putt?
No.
on the biggest stage, Like, yep. I get it. Like, I'm sure it was a super competitive moment, but I feel like for the most part, he's generally a good dude.
Yeah. No, I would agree.
I will reference, if you guys haven't seen it or anyone out there's listening, there is a Rory documentary on Prime on Amazon Prime that they did or released recently. I think I sent it to you, Scott. Very well done. It's like about an hour long, so it's not super crazy, but it talks about everything like with the Masters. So it shows you like highlights of his career, and honestly, it really gives you a lot of insight into why he struggled and mentally. Like he talks about the mental part, and he actually did talk about that in the documentary. I won't give away too much, but essentially, Scott, what I learned was he was trying to just stay very focused. And yeah, like kind of to what your point, like he didn't want to entertain anything that could distract him. And he knew that like Bryson, just the way that he is and, you know what I mean, his personality and stuff, that could definitely like cause distraction if he were to engage with him.
Probably one of the most distracting people he could have been paired up with.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and it's crazy too, because they were in the final pairing, but Bryson fell off.
Yeah, he struggled on Sunday.
So it's kind of like, I don't want to say overhyped, but it was almost like, you know, they were neck and neck in the beginning of the round, and then he just kind of slid out of the leaderboard there. So I know I brought this up just a little bit ago as we were talking through this. You know, think through the fact that at this event, they don't have cell phones. You know, there's really not quote unquote like social media and all that kind of stuff like at the event itself. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are. Do you think that other sports should consider or do something like that? Like, is that even feasible? Because like I was talking a little bit tonight with my wife about it, and she was like, well, if you can't bring in your phone, like how do you get an Uber? Or you know what I mean? Like what if you like Ubered there or you're like drunk or something? Like there's obviously some like those logistical things. And I'm like, I don't know. I wonder if they have like lockers or something that you can leave them in, you know, so it's like not awkward. Like if you took an Uber there, like where do you put your phone, in a field? But that aside, I am curious what your guys' thoughts are. Cause like really, I mean, this is the only event that I'm aware of in sports where you literally cannot take your phone in, and it's like that. Like it's meant to be like be in the moment, enjoy the moment. What are your guys' thoughts on it?
Go ahead.
I think we should do more of it, but is it really feasible in like other sports? Not really. But it's like, I guess realistically, it's probably a little different when somebody's at like an arena and compared to like a piece of private property, like a golf course, right? Like I just don't know like how it would actually work, but would I like more of it? Yeah. I mean, I think everything would be better. It's like, oh yeah, give these official reporters the ability to record and shit. I think that's cool. Let the media do media. And then how about everyone else just watches the game you paid to go see? Like that'd be sick.
Yeah, I think as a society, we're kind of like just addicted to the little computer that's in our pocket all the time. And I find myself doing this all the time. I'm not acting like I'm any different than anyone else, but like I feel like anytime our thoughts start to drift where we're not hyper focused on something, it's very easy to just like reach for a telephone and that, or a cell phone. And that's kind of crazy to me, but I am that way too. So societally, I feel like it would not really be super feasible to do that. But imagine so many things in life if cell phones weren't just always present in our faces or in our, like someone else is recording all the time. Like I'm imagining concerts, for example. The best concerts that I've ever been to is when everyone around me is just like immersed in the music and hanging out and singing, and not everyone recording like the whole concert on their Snapchat while they're just like, I don't need to pay for the damn tickets because 3 people that I know that went to this concert recorded the whole freaking concert. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, just go have fun, you know, and imagine if you were in a world where you didn't have to record everything you did and you could just immerse it and enjoy it. But that's not the world we live in. So yes, Steve, I think a lot of things would be better if they were that way, but societally and functionally, I don't think that we could ever actually enforce that.
Well, I mean, I think, yeah, a lot of the logistics for the other sports, you're right, Trent, that makes it a little difficult, right? Like arenas and all this kind of stuff downtown, like it's a very different, some of the logistics are challenging, but I mean, they have a formula at Augusta, right? Like clearly they do it. I know golf's different than other sports, so I get that, but like no phones, you know what I mean? Like quite literally, I mean, I don't know. There's something there. Like just think about how popular it is to go to this type of event, how hard it is to get tickets, the way they do the lottery, just the way that they have it set up. It's like, it's literally like you are dying to go back to the past to experience what it's like back in the day to watch a sporting event with no distractions and just hang out with the people that you're around, enjoy the event, right? Like just take it all in. And then literally they create the supply and demand type thing with the tickets and the lottery and all that kind of stuff. It's weird, but it's almost like they have an interesting formula. And I'm curious if it's even possible in any other sport. And like, could someone pull it off in another sport?
I remember Andrew telling me telling us, I think, whenever he was there last year. And one of the coolest parts of the story that he told about being there was like you're at a hole, right? And you're watching your hole, but you can't see the entire course and you don't have your phone. So you can't see like what the score is in real time or like monitor along with someone's every shot. And he would say that there would be, like little like billboards up with scores, and people would like manually would like change the scores, and like the crowd would go nuts every time they would see if someone's score changed. And I'm like, dude, that's the feeling you don't get when you get an immediate alert on your phone every time someone finishes a hole. And like, just imagine being that immersed into a crowd where everyone's watching and waiting to see something happen on that board.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a kind of a crazy concept. And I don't know. I just think that it shouldn't be overlooked. Like, yeah, it would be, to your guys' point, very hard, but I think they have something there. And it'd be interesting to see if there's other, even if it's outside of sports, like you said, it's got a concert or something like that. So we did talk a little bit about this, and I want to get your guys' take on it. The Champions Dinner. So that's literally happening probably, or maybe even over, depending on the timing that they do it right now as we record. I am curious what your guys' thoughts were. Did you take a look at the menu at all? What on there? Like, tell me, what's your guys' thoughts? Is there things you would smash or pass? What's on the list for you guys?
I gotta take a look. I don't even know.
I'm looking at it right now. I just pulled it up. It's funny, actually. I pulled it up. First thing, I Googled it, and a Reddit post came up, and it's someone saying that they ate Rory's dinner. So they must have made like all the food or ordered all the food that was off of his menu and then had it.
Yep. I did see that. People posted about people have been posting about that on social media too.
Well, I mean, just looking at the appetizers, you can definitely miss me with the bacon wrapped dates. Bacon is not going to make me want to eat dates. No,
I bet those would be good,
dude. You
Rock
have
shrimp
no idea.
Tempura sounds
with
pretty
goat
fire.
cheese and almonds, dude.
That sweetens the pot a little bit. That does sweeten the pot.
Yeah, come on now.
All right, let me start at the top here. So peach and ricotta flatbread, balsamic hot honey. Okay, that sounds kind of good. All
right, let's do a yay or nay. I'm a yay there for sure. That's a yay.
I get a thumbs up on there. It's okay.
Yeah, I'll be a yay there.
Thumbs up. What else?
We got the bacon wrapped dates, which you guys were definitely yays on.
Those would slap. I'm gonna make some and send them to you.
Okay. The rock shrimp tempura with creamy spicy sauce. That's definitely a yay for me. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Come on.
And we got grilled elk sliders. Sign me up for 2 of those. I don't want just one.
Garlic aioli. Oh,
caramelized onion jam and garlic aioli.
Yep.
How could you say no to that?
Give me some of those.
Slaps. All right, what else we got?
Yellowfin tuna capriccio.
Carpaccio.
Yeah, that's what I said. Something like that.
So do you guys actually know what that is, or have you ever seen it? I actually I didn't know, but I watched a video on it to see what it was before this because I was curious.
No, I haven't had that.
Don't forget the foie gras that's included.
Yeah. Which is what? Try and explain it if people don't know.
That is duck liver or something, right? Or a goose or a duck, liver, like pate almost.
I'm a pass on the first course. Just give me some more appetizers.
I'm gonna give the first course a no. That's no.
I would try it. I'd be curious. I'm not sure. It could change my mind. It just sounds
I'd take a bite.
A little weird.
I'm keeping that at a hard no. Not even trying it.
Here's the question, though, gentlemen. For the main course, you got a choice, okay? Wagyu filet mignon or seared salmon.
Dude, steak all day for me.
I'm not a big salmon person myself.
Yeah, I like salmon, but if Wagyu filet mignon is on the menu, that's what we're ordering, boys.
Yeah.
Every time.
I mean, listen, if there was like something way worse than salmon, I would take the salmon. But yeah, with those two choices, and then they have there is the Irish part here, the Irish champ, which I don't actually know what that means. Is that like potatoes? That's got to be like mashed potatoes. Or
yeah,
something,
it is.
Right?
Yeah, okay. I just googled it. Actually, that looks really good.
Sautéed Brussels sprouts. I don't mind them. They give me gas, so I'm going to say no to those just for that reason. Glazed carrots with brown butter and crispy Videa onion rings.
Ooh, yeah, that all sounds fire.
That's random onion rings. That's like a super
Probably
random
like
twist.
on top of the steak.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
And then we have the dessert sticky toffee pudding, vanilla ice cream and warm toffee sauce. Scott's not a sweet guy, so I'm curious what his thoughts are.
I'm not a sweet guy, but I would definitely have a bite, like a spoonful of this. This sounds pretty good.
You'd have a coffee?
Yes, I would have a coffee with it.
And then there's a bunch of wines.
Yeah, well, choice of the drink here. Got a signature Masters cocktail. You got a fan favorite bourbon cocktail, or you've got the classic lager in a stubby bottle. The Coors Banquet, to be exact.
I mean,
listen, it'd be sacrilege to say anything other than the bourbon cocktail on this podcast.
Yeah, give me the bourbon,
The Crow's Nest.
Okay, so Champions Dinner. Do you guys think what would you give him on a scale of 1 to 10? I don't know how we did.
7.2.
Ooh, I'm going to give him a 8.9. I think he's got something here for everybody. I'm not a fan of the first course, but the rest of this sounds pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I really only shook my head to maybe 2 items on the whole menu, so I'm gonna give it an 8.7.
Okay,
for me.
Okay,
pretty good. He almost nailed it.
Though I think most things were like solid. I'm not the biggest steak fan. Like steak's fine. It's just like a piece of meat, though. Like you can pick like anything. That's why I think the numbers are a little higher. It's like, all right, like Wagyu, it's good, but you could have picked anything.
Yeah,
they got to get their protein in, man.
That's true. New food pyramid, Trent. Got to get a lot of protein.
Respectable like 72%.
Yeah, it's passing by any standards.
Yeah,
little square pieces of cheese pizza that look like they're made out of rubber on the top.
Oh gosh. Okay, so I want to talk about the field. Okay, so we can get into some discussions. I'm curious your guys' thoughts on the field. What's going on with some of the players this year. Anything that you guys think is interesting. But who do you guys think out of who's playing this year could be like the most dangerous under the radar person going into this? Because this course is a lot about course history. So I'm curious who's an under the radar person that you guys are like, they're not really talking about this person much, or this person's not really in the highlight zone right now.
Yeah, I got one right off the top of my head here. I can go first. I think Jacob Bridgman could be one of those players. Okay. He's had a good year. I mean, I don't think anyone's talking about him winning the Masters. He's really low down if you look at the odds for this weekend. But I mean, if you ride the hot hand, he's had a pretty good year so far. Why not? Why couldn't he do it?
Okay. And I think, isn't he ranked number 1 in the FedEx Cup points right now, if I'm not mistaken?
He was at one point.
I think I thought I saw something recently where he was.
But you haven't heard anyone talking about him in the Masters conversation, right?
No.
Well, I feel that's the thing. I mean, he's a guy who's been around, but one of those guys who I think is kind of flopped back and forth between the Korn Ferry and lower end PGA. And it's like, you got to remember, these guys are good enough to play the best of the best. And like, if your game clicks, like this dude's gaining strokes with the putter, like every time he touches the course. And we're talking like 2 to 3 strokes on average. Like this guy is elite when it comes to rolling the ball on the greens, no matter where at. Short game's nuts, and he's not significantly short or anything off the tee. I mean, you get all those things clicking. I mean, any one of these guys that we see touch the course on any given week can compete, but it's like, when does it come together?
I didn't look this up, so if you guys don't know, that's okay, but has he played at the Masters before? Like, I don't even remember
this is his debut.
Is his debut?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
And one of the interesting facts that I heard on one of the podcasts that I was listening to this past week about the Masters is they were talking about people's debuts and how they usually do statistically. It's actually pretty surprising. Expect that at least 1 or 2 people who make their debuts will actually finish pretty high. The one really weird fact is that it's very unlikely for somebody who's making their debut to actually win. Like statistically, it's just, I think it's barely ever happened, maybe once or twice. But if you guys remember a few years back when Ludwig Aberg made his debut, I think he finished 2nd. So people can finish really high up and maybe like contend, but they usually don't actually win the event. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone like that's in like the top 5.
Absolutely.
Certainly would not be a shock.
Yeah. What do you think, Trent? Under the radar.
Under the radar. I mean, I'm going to sound like a hypocrite, and that sucks because I always give hot takes on here. But obviously, a name we're not really talking about one because he's not really playing on any tour other than DP. Patrick Reed is absolutely on fire. I think he won like back-to-back tournaments or 2 tournaments within 3 weeks on the DP World Tour.
Yeah.
I don't know personally. I haven't done a ton of research, but definitely a guy who seems like his game's picking back up, and it's getting interesting with the whole rules change now and him seeking to want to come back to the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
I think that could definitely be a guy to watch out for. I mean, under the radar, I don't know, maybe. A guy who's got a green jacket already. I mean, he always tends to contend at the highest level.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think we're talking about him a lot solely due to his status solely being overseas. So
Yeah.
Definitely a name I would keep my eyes on this weekend for sure.
I'll give you guys a couple because I've thought about this a lot, and I have some names to present to see what your guys' thoughts are too.
Okay.
One of them is Tyrrell Hatton. I know he plays on Live, so he might get boo-booed by some of you, but that guy, if you look at his course history, I mean, he plays this course pretty damn well. Like, he finishes well at this course. He has good course history. He has not won it, but he's also under the radar because he's on Live. You know, he doesn't get as much publicity, all that kind of stuff. Another one that I'll throw out there is, believe it or not, Brooks Koepka. I know he's back on the PGA Tour. He's been playing okay. I mean, he's not winning all these events or anything like that. But I mean, statistically, like, he's been playing pretty reasonable for coming back. Like, he's not missing the cut every week. You know what I mean? He's been reasonably consistent. And he also has really good course history at the Masters. Like, if there's one event that this guy sometimes like randomly plays well, I think it was like a few years ago where he was leading or in contention and everyone was like, what the hell? Like, no one expected that at all, right? It was like one of those just total, very random, like, what is going on here? So that would be my second. And then the last one that I want to mention as well is, I just had him on the screen here. Give me 1 second. Where is he? Matt Fitzpatrick. I don't know that he's as under the radar, and I know
I would say probably not under the radar.
Yeah, he's the 10th favorite to win it all, so he's pretty close to the top.
I'll say what I mean by under the radar is, like, he's not, I don't know, like, people don't always bring his name up to win this event, if that makes sense. Like, it's not, oh, Matt Fitzpatrick is like a favorite or anything like that. And maybe, yeah, because of the odds, he's going to be within the top 10, but I don't know. Just one that came to mind for me that
I also don't think his history at the Masters has been as good as a lot too. So that's probably another thing. But yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely a guy to keep your eyes on in any major. I mean, he's got a U.S. Open under the belt already. So, and I mean, his game's been looking sharp the last, I mean, he won 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago now.
He just seems like he's very consistent, right? Like, even when he's not winning, he's still playing pretty good golf.
Yeah. What about the younger players that are out there? We have, you know, like the Obergs, the Batias, all these kind of guys. Who do you guys think can either make a run or finish like top 5 this year? If you had to pick between like the younger or less seasoned players in the tour.
Min-Woo Lee.
Okay. I like that one.
Nice.
A guy who does everything above average.
That's fair. Yep. I'm going to say this name a lot tonight, Dave. Okay. You ready for this one?
I already know.
It's Oberg. It's got to be Oberg this year. He's going to win the whole damn thing.
Okay. I mean, he has played this pretty dang well, right? Like, last year he was in contention as well. And then he kind of, what do you have, like a double at the last couple holes or whatever that kind of.
Yeah, he fell off. He still ended up in 7th last year. So, I mean, decent. But yeah, he fell off. He was in contention there for a minute.
Okay. I'll give you a couple names as well. I like Jake Knapp. Bastard withdrew from that one tournament and screwed a bunch of people a few weeks ago in our DraftKings, but we'll forgive him. That dude's been super consistent, and he's been playing generally pretty good. I haven't looked at his course history here, though, so I'm not as familiar.
I honestly think this might be his second or potentially first.
Really?
No, he played in 2024, but not 2025.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So fairly doesn't have a lot of course history.
T55, so he made the cut, but he shot. Where's he at? 13.
Wow.
Oh,
So he
shit.
played really
Okay.
bad.
He had a rough
Yeah,
Saturday
that
and
was.
Sunday.
Yeah, it was. Tiger was dead last at plus 16 that year.
Well, he's definitely dead last this year.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and he shot 70 on Friday and Saturday too. That's that'll do it to you.
I think more so he's shaped up his game since then, is what I'll
Oh,
say.
I would
Like,
agree.
He's definitely been way more consistent, even like right now, you know what I'm saying, leading into this. So
Yeah.
I will be curious to see how he plays. The other one that you guys completely somehow skipped over is my man Chris Gotterup making his debut.
You know I love Gotterup, and I do. I think give me top 10 on Gotterup, okay?
Okay.
But Oberg is winning this year.
Okay. I like that
Pack
one.
it up, and wrap it in a bow, baby.
What about there was another name I wanted to ask you guys what your thoughts were. Give me a second. I'm looking for it here. What about it's funny, Danny Willett is playing. I just saw that.
Yeah, because he's a winner, so he has like a
True.
lifetime invite.
I know. It's just like you never hear, you know what I mean? You never
he plays every year.
Yeah. What about what are your guys' thoughts on Aldrich Poitgeiter?
He's not ready yet.
No.
Hot and cold on that guy, man.
I think he's a good player, but
I mean, I think he could make the cut and be, top 50 or whatever. I don't think he's going to win this event.
He can drive it really far from what I recall, but isn't his short game not good? Like that's his weakness right now.
And you got to have a good short game here, buddy.
Yeah. So
I mean, definitely though. I mean, as far as he hits the ball, and it's like I want to say Augusta naturally sets up for a player who plays a draw too. Like I think it's a better advantage if you play right to left ball flight as opposed to left to right. So it's like I'm pretty sure that's what he does. Like if you have it going off the tee, you can make this course short. Like there's no doubt about it. But the greens are just so demanding, and his short game is really what gets him in trouble. That I don't know if he has what it takes yet. And kind of same situation. I think Knapp's a very good point out but I mean, I get pot geeters, one on tour and whatnot, but I would say the courses and the fields have been not as strong as some of the fields that somebody like Knapp has won in, who's got 2 or 3 wins now already.
Yeah.
I feel like Knapp's a guy who's probably a little closer to taking that leap to winning a major as opposed to Piegeter, but definitely both really good names to throw out because those are guys you could certainly see towards the top of the leaderboard at any moment.
Can I just interject really quick here?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I know we're not done with the conversation yet, but this is kind of a mind-blowing thing to me, and I get it. I don't think he's going to win this year either, but nobody is bringing up Justin Rose at all. And the guy was in the playoff last year against Rory.
Yeah.
And has been pretty good, pretty consistent. I wouldn't say good, but pretty consistent since then.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on Justin Rose this year? I mean, I'm personally not a big Justin Rose fan, but the things that guy's able to do at his age are just incredible. I mean, he's like 45 and he hits the ball as far as guys who are half his age. I mean, I certainly cannot discredit him because he performs at every big tournament just like he did 20 years ago. He's been doing it for so long and he's been so good for so long. It's like, I don't know how I don't like him, but just not my guy.
Yeah. He is due for something. It's like him and Fleetwood. Both of those guys have just been consistent and they're both, and I know Fleetwood won the FedEx Cup, but they're due for a major. I don't know. I just feel like both of those guys at any time, I could see them in the next couple of years winning something, whether it's the Masters or another major. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely think he has the course history. He has, he clearly has the tools to win here. It's just, is it his week? Does he actually play how he played last year and he comes out on top if it's a playoff or, something like that. So. He was close last year, though. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah, he was.
And him and Rory are actually friends. They're pretty good friends. So he said that they had gone to dinner last year, the night of the Champions dinner together. So,
oh, wow.
That had to been, that had to been super awkward to play each other or maybe even fun. I don't know. One guy I don't want to sleep on, but I just have so much trouble with just mainly because of the course history is not there is Batia, man. He has all the tools to be able to be so good at this course. And he is a left-hander, which I don't know, Scott, if you knew this, but left-handers actually do have an advantage at Augusta based on how
No, I didn't
some
know
of the
that.
holes are set up. The one hole, and Trent, you can feel free to add in if this is something that you've heard. But for example, hole number 12, which is on Amen Corner, it's the par 3 where it's you're hitting onto a green that's horizontal. So like it's a super skinny green, and not only is it skinny, but you're hitting it horizontally and you're hitting into it. And then there's water to the right side. So like they kind of try to trap you by, they'll put the pin on the right edge on Sunday to try to get you to hit over the water. Well, left-handed golfers, just by nature, the way that they hit the ball, they can shape it usually naturally so that like they play into that type of a hole pretty well, where right-handed golfers, generally speaking, are more likely to not play that type of a hole well. Left-handers have some advantages at the Masters, like Phil Mickelson's the best example, who's won here, who's a left-hander.
Yeah, it's kind of like I was saying, like the draw versus the fade. So like naturally, it's far easier for players in general to hit a fade that's going to go, left or right, as opposed to a ball that comes around right to left.
Yep.
But like lefties being able to just step up and naturally hit a fade, as opposed to righties who have to try and get the ball to go over right to left. It's a much easier task for left-handed players. So if a lefty's out there just finding his groove, it's going to play a lot easier than having to crank over on a draw every time you step into a tee box.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Sure. So who's your guys' dark horse or sleepers if you had to find someone out there, maybe to win, but honestly just to play really, really well? What do you got, Trent?
All right, you ready for this one? Yeah. I think he's playing some really good golf, has won a major, complete dark horse, and tell me what a story this would be. Gary Woodland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I like that.
I mean, talk about a guy who absolutely crams the ball too, like off the tee. So it's like he's got that going for him. And his game was clicking when he won a couple weeks ago. I mean, that was like major winner Gary Woodland. So if he can carry that over, I think that guy could potentially compete for another major.
Dude, if Gary Woodland wins, it's literally going to be a bucket of tears on Sunday watching that dude.
Futures on Gary Woodland tonight.
That's going to be literally that would be the craziest pause moment, the champions walk or whatever. That will literally be like the most gut-wrenching, comeback story of the century for that guy and what he's been through.
Yeah, I forgot about his story with he had like the brain injury, right? Or had to get a tumor removed or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
I like that one, Trent. That's actually really, and he's in form, right? That's the thing.
Yeah. Like when he won, he was, gained almost 5 strokes total and almost 3 strokes with the putter. I mean, that was a master class, really. I mean, just the whole game was there. Every time you thought he was going to lose a stroke, he'd bury a 20-foot par to save it, or you'd think, he's got a 6% chance to make this 25-foot birdie, but he makes it. Like, just everything was falling for him. I would love to see it.
Yep, I like that.
Steve, you want my dark horse?
Yeah.
Check this out. Gone to the Masters 4 times, made the cut 1 out of those 4 times. This is my dark horse that I called out before the season started that I said will win a major this year. Alex Noren.
Wow. Okay.
You heard it here.
Okay. Interesting. I have not heard that one. So that is truly a dark horse for sure. I thought you were going to say Tom Kim, and then I was like, is he even on here? I don't think he is.
No, listen, I still like to praise Tom Kim, but I've hit the brakes a bit on that because I actually know what I'm talking about a little bit more now.
You've learned over the past year.
Listen, he's still my boy. I'll throw him on there on a slower week.
His game's also gone downhill, so you can't completely blame yourself.
Yep. Hey, but the TGL hole-in-one though,
All right, I'll give you guys 2 because I have 2 that I've been ruminating on here. Number 1 is someone that has not really been talked about recently, and maybe I should have said this for that question. Corey Connors. He kind of has disappeared a bit more recently, but last year, man, he was in contention. I know he was hot last year. His game was there. Like, I feel like going into this tournament, he probably was more of a potential dark horse. But if he finds a way to pull together that last year form of Corey Connors at this event this week, like that's definitely a guy that I don't think is on anyone's radar right now to be in contention. The other one, not really as popular, not I haven't really heard his name much on a lot of stuff I look up, is Harris English.
Yeah.
Talk about a guy that can play and just, I feel like is just off the radar. Like no one's really talking about Harris English contending at Augusta this year. So
Yeah,
those would be
no,
my
I'd agree
two.
with that. I mean, he was like top 15 last year, I think, right? English?
Yeah. He has, I'm pretty sure he has reasonable course history. I'd have to double check it, but he's
Corey
had,
Connors.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
that's what I'm saying. He plays this course well, and that's, I don't know, like course history is there.
The difference with Corey of recent is that he somehow forgot how to putt the ball. That used to be like his strong suit, and he's lost strokes on the green. So 7 out of the last 9 tournaments he's played in. So that'll hurt.
Yeah,
That'll hurt you
for sure. Yeah, which kind of explains why we haven't heard from him.
Yeah.
What about, this would be a random name to throw out, but what are your guys' thoughts on Sungjae?
He plays this pretty well, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I don't know, he's like one of those guys that's
last year, right? So
yeah, he's always in contention, I feel like, but yeah, not really one that people talk as much about.
Actually, wow. I'm honestly very surprised. I didn't think he played in that many, but he's played since 2020. Sungjae. He's made every cut except 2, and he has 3 top 10s. He's got the T2 from 2020 when it was in the COVID or whatever, so it was in May or November. They played in November. He tied second, and then in 2025 he had the T5, and then 2022 he tied for 8th. So definitely,
wow,
the history lines up.
Yeah, he's been playing reasonable lately, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, didn't he? He had that runaway win, did he not? Or did he end up losing that? No, yeah, that was at the
he
Valspar.
lost.
He was way ahead for 3 rounds and then forgot how to play on Sunday.
Seems to be a trend this year.
No kidding.
Okay, so last question, and then we'll get into some of our Masters picks for some betting stuff. If you guys had to describe what you think winning the Masters might feel like, but use like a moment from your personal life to be, to make it relatable, what's that moment that you're reaching for of what you think it would feel like to win the Masters?
Christmas morning as a 5-year-old.
I love that.
That's fair.
I feel like, not to get too personal here, but probably when I found out that my wife was pregnant with my first son, because we just, that was something we'd worked towards for a while, and it took a little bit of time to get there. And I imagine that's how winning a Masters would feel too. You worked your whole life for something, and it took some time to get there. So, yeah, I don't know. There's so many moments in life that I could probably think about, but that's what came to mind.
Mine would be relating to graduating from college, because the way that I look at it is like it's such a long journey, and for many people, like Rory's a good example. It is a long journey, right? You put in like so many hours, so many days. You practice all, you know what I mean? There's just so much that goes into getting to that moment. Like, last year when Rory won, like you could literally feel all the weight come off when he like, fell to the ground, and it was just, you could just tell that like all that stuff added up to that very moment. And I think like graduation, at least in my mind, is one of those moments that resonates with me, of like you get to that moment and it's like you did it, like you put in all the work and then you're there. So that's the one that resonated with me. So
I love it.
All right, gents, you ready to do some Masters picks using DraftKings betting odds?
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right. So this segment is not brought to you by DraftKings, but if they're listening, let us know. Okay, so Scott, why don't you start with the first one, and we can start taking a look at these.
Yeah, end of the first round leader. Just Thursday, right? Is what we're looking at here?
Yeah. I like this one. I always love these ones. And a first round leader.
You want me to start? You want me to give you the first round leader?
Yeah, let's give who you think, and then what are the odds that we're reading off tonight.
Okay, Xander Schauffele plus 2,700.
I like it. It's a nice pick. What do you got,
what
Trent?
About you?
Can't figure it out.
It's under popular.
Popular.
And then it's like the 5th one down. End of first round leader should be. I'll give you mine. I think end of first round leader. is Bryson DeChambeau. I feel like he usually comes out of the gate pretty hot, and then he kind of falls off. So give me him at plus 1,800.
That was a name I considered.
I like, and this is a name I might unfortunately say a lot this evening, but Cameron Young.
Okay. No Colin Morikawa for you?
Never heard of the guy.
Isn't he injured? I'm surprised he's playing.
Yeah. That's I'm staying far away from that guy.
Surprised he's playing. He usually plays reasonable though. I don't know.
Yeah,
generally. All right, what do we got next, Scott?
Top 5 pick. Ooh.
Okay, that's on the outrights page, Trent, under top 5, 10, 20.
I got it.
Okay, top 5. I have mine.
Go for it.
Give me Patrick Reed at plus 810. I think he does it. I think he does it again.
Top 5. You know what? Give me, you said this name earlier, but give me Matt Fitzpatrick at plus 465.
Okay.
I'm bringing up the other name that you said earlier, Hero Hatton at plus 1350.
Ooh.
Wow, he's that low?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Wow.
I can't take that guy seriously, man. I know that I've only watched golf for like just over a year now, but every time I watch that guy play golf, he's like freaking the F out and like throwing his clubs. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I could never say that guy's name.
That's fair.
He kind of smoked us in the Ryder Cup, though, or at least in a couple events, he played pretty well.
He's hard. All right. The next one, Scott, I think you picked, and is it under specials? I actually don't even know where this one's at.
I honestly don't remember. Maybe under featured. No, I don't know. Anyway, hold on. I'll find it.
I think it's under.
It is under specials.
Okay. I was like, it's got to be under something weird.
It's not. No, it's not.
No.
Where the hell did it go?
Is it under? Well, you read what it is, and I'll find it.
Yeah, I guess that would make more sense. So this bet is actually on outrights. It's on outrights. Okay. The bet is called Big Guns versus the Field. Basically, you're saying if the top 6 golfers will win or if anybody else will. The top 6 are Scheffler, McIlroy, Rahm, DeChambeau, Oberg, and Xander. So do you think that, will you bet that one of those 6 wins or bet that the entire rest of the field has the winner in it? And it's pretty even odds. It's minus 120 for the field and minus 112 for those top 6. They're actually the favorite is actually to bet on those 6 instead of the other, like 74 or 84 golfers that are left.
Yeah. Give me the field. Like I said, it's going to be a weird year, man. I don't think one of the top guys wins it this year.
I would agree with you there, dude.
And I misspoke. The favorite is oh, sorry, I said it correctly, the field. And I agree. I think there's so many people, right? And so many things can happen that I would have a hard time narrowing it down to just, I'm going to bet on these 6 people and screw the rest of the field. But it's interesting because I do think the winner is in there, but I would put my money on the other 84 golfers.
All right, gentlemen, it's time for the question of the night. Who do you think wins the 2026 Masters?
Ludwig Oberg, baby. It's his time. We're bringing it home. And you don't know why? Course history. He's a good golfer, and he had some pep in his step last week. He looked like he was enjoying playing golf. He just looked like a dude who's comfortable right now with the swing, and I think it's his time to rise up and get that W.
Okay. Trent?
Cameron Young, a guy whose game is looking just great. Putter's good, bombs the ball. He's got the kit, just got to do it.
Okay, my original answer is actually Cameron Young, but I'll give you a backup here.
Okay.
I'll give you the real reason though why Cameron, other than what you said, Trent. They'll mark this. This is a really weird stat. The person who has won the Players' Championship the last 2 years in a row has won the majors. So last year, Rory won the Players.
The Masters,
and he won,
specifically.
Excuse me, the Masters. And then the year before, Scotty won the Players, and he also won the Masters. So I'm going with that trend, and my favorite is Cameron Young. But my second pick would be Matt Fitzpatrick.
Okay. I'm going to give you guys something here that I saw on Twitter. I actually was going to pick Oberg before I saw this, but this made me feel more confident in making that choice on the podcast tonight. So I know you guys know Ron Close on Twitter. He does all the golf analytics.
Yeah.
He looked at the last, I think it was the predictive trends for every Masters winner. And he found 19. And for this year, there are 3 players that fit 17 out of those 19 trends. Those players were Oberg, Xander, and Fleetwood. So they matched the most trends out of any golfer. Oh. There were 6 players that were just one less that matched 16 of 19. And that's Scotty, Rory, Rahm, DeChambeau, Fitzpatrick, and Min Woo Lee. Wow. Cam Young met 15 of them. and then Morikawa and Matsuyama met 14 of them. If we're going off of the trends, then we might have a big weekend for Xander or Fleetwood as well.
We'll see. This could be the one. I mean, if Fleetwood wins it, that'd be really cool too.
That'd be a cool moment. Yeah.
But
Fleetwood's awesome. Does anyone not like Fleetwood? He seems just like a likable golfer.
Most likable guy on tour, I feel.
yeah.
I'm very critical of a lot of players, I feel like, but I have nothing for that guy. It seems like a genuine guy.
Yeah. They had his daughter. There was some interview with his daughter. She was doing like I don't remember if it's like the round where you play with your...
The kids do the par 3 challenge or whatever.
Yeah, but isn't that Wednesday?
Yeah, well, if you remember, I'll interject real quick. Last year during the par 3 thing, you guys remember the interview of his son is like probably 8 or 9 or 7, like something like that. And there's the one hole where you have to go over the water. And he was like, "Oh, I've been trying me hardest to get over the water." It was a video. I'll have to find it for you.
I'll have to send you guys the one of his daughter because it was like pretty good as well too. And it might have been from the drive chip and putt. I don't know. It was something like that. But I just saw it tonight and it was gave me a chuckle as well. So that guy's got some funny kids as well. So that's a plus.
It's awesome.
All right, gentlemen, any last words for the 2026 Masters?
You're damn right we do. It has nothing to do with golf. Shout out the Michigan Wolverines 2026 college basketball champions.
Go blue,
Go
baby.
blue.
Go blue.
I knew you guys had to get it in somewhere.
A football national championship and a basketball national championship in my lifetime.
That's right. And the last, 3 years? You know, it hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
Maybe a hockey one, right? Or they still
maybe a hockey one. Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
That's right. Best sports university in the world.
Cool. Well, Trent, appreciate you hopping on, buddy. Looking forward to another great Masters week, and we will catch you all next week.
Yeah. Thank you, Trent. Enjoy this show. Everybody else.
Yes. See you guys.